From Tobey Maguire never making it past the third Spider-Man movie to Catherine Zeta-Jones straight up being shunned, here are some of the most controversial reasons why actors don't get cast anymore. Starting with Tobey Maguire wasting Spider-Man's success. We all remember that cringe-worthy dance number in Spider-Man 3, right? That infamous emo Peter Parker performance wasn't the sole villain responsible for Maguire's career taking a hit. According to director Sam Raimi in a 2013 interview, Sony was willing to give Maguire and Raimi a chance at redemption. They wanted to make Spider-Man 4, but Raimi took his sweet time putting together a script. You know how it goes. Life gets in the way, and suddenly you're stuck in the web of procrastination. By the time Raimi was ready to spin his movie magic, Maguire was edging closer to the ripe old age of 35. And you know what Hollywood thinks of actors who start getting crow's feet. So Sony did what any impatient studio would do. They hit the reboot button. That's when we got The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield taking over. Maguire, on the other hand, had already dipped his toes into producing. He seemed to be doing well with flicks like 25th Hour and Seabiscuit under his belt. But things went a bit haywire. Maguire's producing efforts post-Spidey included Rock of Ages, where he probably should have stuck to web-slinging instead of rocking out. Then there was Pawn Sacrifice, which seemed like a promising move. Unfortunately, the chess pieces didn't fall in his favor. As if that wasn't enough, Maguire had a little run-in with the law. He was caught up in an illegal poker club scandal and ended up paying a settlement. Spidey playing poker? I guess he was trying to figure out if he could detect bluffs with his Spidey senses. While Maguire wasted his role's success, Taylor Lautner did the complete opposite. This guy had a one-way ticket to superstardom, but things didn't quite go according to plan. While Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson went the opposite direction and left the vampire world behind entirely, Lautner decided to ride the wave of Twilight's success. Can you blame him? He was making some serious cash playing Jacob. But when it was time for him to step into the leading man's shoes, things went downhill fast. Typecasting, lackluster acting abilities, and an overestimated value all joined forces to bring disaster upon Abduction, which was supposed to be his moment to shine. Critics tore the film apart, and audiences weren't exactly lining up for a second viewing. And let's not forget about Tracers. That didn't do much better either. Poor Taylor. His asking price for future roles was reportedly a jaw-dropping $7.5 to $10 million per film. That's a little steep, to say the least. It's not all doom and gloom for our werewolf friend. He found a glimmer of hope in the comedy genre. Lautner's had success with his BBC series Cuckoo, and the reviews were actually good. He's become a part of Adam Sandler's crew, joining the ranks in Grown Ups 2 and The Ridiculous Six. Those may not be Oscar contenders, but they're fan favorites. And let's face it, being on a winning team is always a solid move. Sean William Scott got the memo. Y'all know him as Steve Stifler from American Pie. This role is a double-edged sword. On one hand, he made a career out of playing a guy who should have been despised, but somehow ended up being loved. But on the other hand, he's never been able to step out of the character's shadow. It's the classic case of typecasting, the curse that haunts many actors. So what did Sean do? He found a logical solution: voiceover work. He lent his vocal talents to the Ice Age movies, not just one or two, but 4 of them. Those animated flicks turned out to be his most successful ventures after the American Pie era. And the best part is, he can hide behind those animated characters. Here's the thing about Sean. He's never been one to go crazy partying or chase after the spotlight. In 2011, he took a detour and checked himself into a 30-day rehab stint. The reasons were never fully disclosed, but hey, we all have our personal demons, right? Amanda Bynes definitely did. Back in the day, Bynes was riding high as a top teen star with a bright future. But then back-to-back arrests and some questionable behavior came crashing down on her like a ton of bricks. It was so bad she had to retire from the entertainment industry at 24. In an interview with Paper Magazine in 2018, she spilled the beans on the real struggle she was facing behind the scenes. While she was making headlines for outrageous tweets and legal woes, she was battling some serious substance abuse demons. But she found her way out of that dark tunnel and has been sober for almost 4 years. Not only that, but she even graduated from California's Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in 2019. She decided to enroll in cosmetology school in 2022, Seems like she has a pretty good future ahead of her, even if it isn't in Hollywood. Jay Mohr could have also had a successful future if only things had gone his way. Back in the 90s, this guy had some serious potential. He was a part of the Saturday Night Live cast and scored a breakout performance in Jerry Maguire. But fast forward to recent years, and it's been more misses than hits for our buddy Jay. Let's talk about sitcoms. He had a shot at becoming a sitcom star with Action on Fox. The critics loved it, and it even had a cult following. But you know what? The ratings were like a roller coaster heading straight down. It tanked, and Jay's dreams of sitcom stardom took a beating. His next attempt with Gary Unmarried lasted a couple of seasons, but the reviews were like a punch to the gut. But Jay found a glimmer of hope in his hosting gigs. His last comic standing stage was a success, and he managed to make the whole crowd laugh. More recently, he had a sports show called Jay Mohr Sports. It was like a touchdown in his hosting game. But even that path had some bumps along the way. He had a deal with Disney that was seemingly canceled. Disney, as you know, is the land of happy endings. Let's dive into the personal side of things. Jay's had a bit of a messy journey, to say the least. In 2016, he filed for divorce from his actress wife, Nikki Cox. He even asked for an emergency petition for full custody of their son. Talk about drama. He claimed Nikki had depression and self-medicated. But just 6 days later, he dropped the petition like a hot potato. Those are some swift legal maneuvers right there. But the divorce saga didn't end there. Nope, he filed for divorce again in the same year. And guess what? It was even nastier with allegations of drug use thrown into the mix. Yikes! He's not the only one who got caught up in controversy. So did Catherine Zeta-Jones. She kind of disappeared into thin air, right? She's actually been focusing on TV roles. But they haven't been without their fair share of drama. In 2017, Zeta-Jones graced our screens in the FX series Feud, Bette and Joan, where she took on the role of legendary Hollywood actor Olivia de Havilland. Here's the thing, de Havilland wasn't too thrilled with how she was portrayed. In fact, she was so offended that she slapped a lawsuit on FX. She accused them of infringing on her right to publicity and invading her privacy. But wait, there's more. De Havilland's legal team also pointed out that she wasn't too pleased with the way her relationship with her sister was depicted. Apparently, Zeta-Jones' de Havilland referred to Joan Fontaine as her bitch sister. Attorney Suzelle Smith made it clear that this portrayal didn't sit well with de Havilland's stellar reputation. You can't blame her for wanting to set things right. And the controversy didn't end there. Zeta-Jones stirred the pot once again when she took on the role of Colombian drug lord Griselda Blanco in the Lifetime movie Cocaine Godmother, the Griselda Blanco story. People were quick to raise their eyebrows, arguing that Blanco was being inaccurately portrayed since Zeta-Jones isn't Latina. And she kind of became the actor that no one production house wanted to come close to, even with a 10-foot pole. So from Catherine Zeta-Jones being silently banned from working, to Tobey Maguire being too old and busy to get past the Spider-Man success, those were some of the most controversial reasons why actors don't get cast anymore.